This alliterative show will have you laughing and appreciating comedy in a whole new way. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 episodes of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the most hilarious as well as the most memorable episodes of this highly bingeable show. Number 10. John Oliver. Jerry decides to pick up his coffee companion for the day in a 1959 Triumph TR3. It is pouring rain, which is perhaps fitting for a day with the British comedian.
We have got a spectacularly British day today.
Perfect, right?
Together, they talk history, accents, and dialects, and how the English like to have fun before heading to Allswell Cafe and Restaurant. There, in a cozy nook, they discuss personal aesthetics, Englishness, and, of course, the internal logic of comedy.
Listen, I understand that we have done some terrible things throughout our history.
Nobody's really thinking about that here. No. Nobody cares about England.
By the end, you can really see the friendship forming. It's a great primer to the premise of the show, dissecting not only comedy, but how true comedians tick.
NBC Seinfeld eating a roll off the floor on his knees like a dog.
Number 9. Will Ferrell. For the biggest kid of them all, Jerry picks his guest up in a 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird.
Why do people in movies, film, or pictures think they're very, very important? I don't know, but I love it so much.
The two comedians start things off by discussing film, or rather Ferrell's lack of film attendance, before switching gears to talk about how he did attend an early stand-up show of Seinfeld's back in '85.
What year would that have been? Do you recall?
85?
I would have been still in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Treated to the story of Ferrell's time as a bank teller, the two continue to play off each other, trading banter and stories, including several anecdotes about cats. Low-key and lighthearted, it's an episode for everyone to enjoy.
This cafe, it's like Greece. There's no real visible financial model here that makes any sense. But they'll be open tomorrow.
Right.
Number 8. David Letterman. Jerry has fun with his chosen car before picking up his guest. Upon meeting up, Letterman reveals the oddly charming story about how he originally got the car. Paul Newman called and asked if he'd like a station wagon with a racing engine, to which the at-the-time young comedian said, sure.
What is this? Well, Dave, it's a family car, so today this was the family. That's me and that's you.
It's a cute dynamic between the two recognizable faces, as Letterman comes to terms that he's among, gasp, real people, not actors, and that they can and must talk like regular folks.
I mean, if we were robbing a bank... Bill, hey, Randy. Bill? Randy?
They talk parenting styles, but the real gold is the reminiscing about the early days on stage, when laughs were apparently hard to come by.
Because I had watched a lot of comedians, and I thought, well, the audience seems to be kind of laughing anyway. And then when you go up there, you find out they're not laughing at all.
Number 7. Steve Harvey. In this episode, car and comedian both make a statement, and that statement is fun and unforgettable.
The legend is here.
Picking his guest up in a 1957 Chevy Bel Air convertible, this episode kicks off right in ultra-smooth style.
Jerry, I'm finna cry. Man. Oh.
Even Harvey is blown away by how on point the vehicle choice is. Together, the comedians discuss the movement of comedy and the way Harvey incorporates physical comedy into his act. Big question, is comedy teachable? Seems unlikely.
Do you think it's teachable?
As they enjoy coffee and lunch, Harvey shares his feeling that comedy has to come from within, and that comedy classes are a waste of time. They end the day in the classiest cigar lounge in Chicago.
Steve Harvey, Jerry Seinfeld. That's a pretty good look, man.
Number 6. Larry David. Isn't it great when old friends get together? Past collaborators on a little-known show back in the 90s, you might have heard of it. Jerry and the Curb Your Enthusiasm star, not Bob Einstein, that's for another episode, head off to breakfast.
You excited?
I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'm looking forward to it.
The conversation, which navigates through the past jokes and ideas, relationships, strict diets, and the power of a cigar over a cigarette, is just casual talk between old friends.
I ordered soup the other day. Somebody said, that's all you're gonna get?
They finally truly do a show about nothing, and it is as oddly compelling as ever.
I can't believe this is how people live. But people can do this all the time.
Yes.
Number 5, Ricky Gervais. If there's one thing Ricky Gervais is known for, it's his rapid-fire, no punches pulled, completely mad approach to comedy.
Is this the seat valve?
What do you think so far?
I think it's a death trap.
It is.
Which is apparently the opposite of what he likes in his driving style when going for a casual drive. After Jerry picks him up in a 1967 Austin Healey 3000, the American comedian burns rubber and nearly gives Gervais several heart attacks.
Terry, why is it so funny to frighten a grown man?
Fear is funny.
Fear is funny, yeah.
Especially when it's not fake.
During lunch, they discuss the infamous Golden Globes award show Gervais hosted, fame, etiquette, and what moment in history they would have liked to have witnessed the most.
How about being in Hitler's bunker there as he's screaming?
I'd be a bit nervous, but then after that car journey, Hitler doesn't scare me as much.
Number 4, Chris Rock. After getting picked up in a 1969 Lamborghini Miura, Rock gets straight to his trademark observational wit, noting that the company you're with changes everything about what you're doing.
If we were in a cab, we'd probably be having the same exact conversation.
This eases into musings about simple inventions from the present making their way into the past, and how they would change everything about a person's fortunes or destiny.
Like if you were a caveman and you had a lighter, you'd be king of the world, right?
You'd be absolute king of the world.
The high-concept banter is kept light, of course, by the fact that it's being delivered by two comedians who are just having a good time. It's a fun, insightful episode that should not be missed.
Have you ever talked at a funeral?
I talked at a friend's funeral this year. Yeah. Got a couple laughs.
Number 3, Michael Richards. Michael Richards is not the only Seinfeld cast member to make an appearance on Comedians in Cars. Jerry has also picked up Julia Louis-Dreyfus in a 1964 Aston Martin, no less, and Jason Alexander in full George Costanza character.
Can't believe the Super Bowl is in New York.
Well, I gotta have it somewhere.
But we just couldn't leave Kramer off the list. Jerry picks the comedian up in a dilapidated 1962 Volkswagen bus, and things take an odd turn immediately when Richards asks that they turn down a side street to drop by professional boxer Sugar Ray Leonard's house at random. But the woman who answers the door is not Leonard.
I'm sure that was his house. It's odd that...
Also, turns out Richards was doing a bit. He doesn't know Sugar Ray Leonard. Never a dull moment.
I think you should wear a hat and some sunglasses or something.
Oh, Michael, free yourself.
Number 2, Tina Fey. Driving through Manhattan, Seinfeld talks with one of the most tireless and funny comedians out there, Tina Fey.
I like that this is just like a metal ring like you would tie a horse to.
They discuss food and how eating can be a little mini vacation in a stressful day, as food is the reward of any day. The conversation takes a number of twists and turns, covering a wide range of subjects, but at the heart of it is a mutual love of food.
Nights where I win an Emmy, and they'd be like, what's my food treat gonna be?
Right.
Like the Emmy was not a treat.
Of course, Tina Fey also gives some sage life advice about being pleased with one's accomplishments while continuously looking forward. Don't waste time reminiscing. Just keep working.
This is the greatest show ever.
I would commit to 22 episodes a year of this.
Yeah.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Oh my God. Nailed that. Nailed it.
Celebrate disabilities. That's a short, dull party. I can't walk.
Number 1, Barack Obama. This interview with the former president is excellent not just for its insight, but for its comedy too. The dry humor Barack Obama delivers is something to behold.
Could I throw this out? You have a garbage?
You have to use the non-presidential garbage.
Oh, I think.
Obama is not a comedian, but this episode makes you wonder about an alternate reality where he is. Of course, they couldn't really go anywhere in the car, a beautiful 1963 Corvette Stingray, because of the Secret Service and all that.
I do really well with the 0 to 8 demographic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they love me. Partly because I think my ears are big, and so I look a little like a cartoon character.
Right.
They do, however, check out the president's armored vehicle, drive in the driveway of the White House, and then go down into the staff break room to chat. It's a deeply down-to-earth exchange, and quite possibly one of the best Obama interviews out there.
No black?
I have one black suit.
Black's too rough for a president.
Yeah.
You gotta soften it a
Well,
little.
but I'm a cool president.
Right,
so
that's true.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.